this also stands out, which I find important. It's news that many people here might already know because we've been seeing that Ukrainian advance, but now we have the statistics, the numbers. According to what Volodymyr Zelensky, the Ukrainian president, says, right now Ukraine manufactures 60% of the weapons used by Ukrainian soldiers. 60%. This is vital and important, especially if the war ends up being prolonged. Ukraine has reached a new level of weapons production during the large-scale war, which leads to having approximately 60% of the supplies for the armed forces of Ukraine own production. Zelensky says that this is extremely important not to depend entirely on foreign weapons because there could be problems. I also find this report extremely interesting. By the way, it's like something out of a movie, but something is happening in Japan that's drawing a lot of attention. This man, not really a guy, the one in front, he would be the possible successor to the Japanese emperor. But at the same time, what people here haven't liked is that, well, the emperor actually has a daughter who could succeed him. But since she's a woman and under the rules of royalty, it's not acceptable there for a woman to take the reins. Have surveys or studies been done in Japan? What do people think? That would also be important. Well, most people, the vast majority, believe that the woman, the emperor's daughter, should be, let's say, at the head of the royalty. I mean that she deserves it, that she could do it perfectly. The one who follows, let's say, who would be the emperor in the line of succession, has now reached the age of majority. That's why the debate, that's why it's back in discussion, because she is already of age. But obviously she hasn't been given the position yet, because obviously it's not necessary yet. But let's say the fact that she is left out, that is the nephew who is in the line of succession. It attracts attention and sparks debate. Japan announces the coming of age of Prince Hisashi Hisahito with an elaborate ceremony that is publicly available on the internet. The emperor's nephew Naohito has already received a black silk and lacquer crown at today's Saturday ceremony in Tokyo. This is the start of adult life. The words of Hisahito or Hisahito are, "Thank you very much for granting me the crown today at the coming of age ceremony," says Hisahito. "I will fulfill my duties, aware of my responsibilities as an adult in the Imperial family." But it's not known if they will really give it to him or if they will do something so that the emperor's daughter is the one who takes the reins of royalty. Let's see what the emperor decides, what the people decide, or if they're even considered. This could be important because Japan still has a lot of machismo, which is strange and old-fashioned for such a modern country. Yes, things have changed. Machismo has lessened in many areas. It's still a big problem. It's still an issue that maybe isn't as visible as in other parts of the world, but it still exists. It's something important, right? And with this, if they make her, I mean the emperor's daughter, the one who leads the royalty, so maybe then that symbol will make many minds in Japan start to change the way they think, but we won't see that anymore. In the meantime, it's curious, it's strange to see all these traditions, isn't it? These are maybe so far from us, but they're always interesting, right? Well, let's move on to other important matters. Look, who's the most worried? In the end, who's the most worried about China showing so much strength? At the last parade on September 3rd, if you haven't seen the footage, please check it out. It's very impressive, especially the pomp, the infrastructure, the movement, and also the equipment. Ultimately, the goal was to display China's strength. Well, the United States and I think Japan would also be concerned about these movements. That's how concerned the United States and Japan are right now. That they've decided to set up a series of platforms and at least one is already being installed. Typhoon missiles, basically right at China's doorstep. After China's show of force, the United States is making moves. They're moving the key pieces on the board. They're sending this new missile platform to Japan, where these missiles can reach a range of about 2,000 kilometers. There's this move that brings these launches like a kind of trucks that launch very powerful missiles. Do they have strong ranges, heavy ranges, where these Typhoon systems have already been deployed in the Philippines? We have to remember that the typhoons can have ranges from 2, 5, 150 to over 2,000 kilometers of distance. Did China get upset when they were deployed in the Philippines? Now that they put the ones they intend to deploy in Japan even closer to China, I imagine that's going to cause problems. It's going to cause annoyance. The typhoon system could basically cover the entire South China area, the South China Sea. If we look at the map, this whole area, let's see if we can observe it. This whole area, let's see if we can go over it. Where this area is, let's see if we can reach it. Let's look at the Philippines. Here they have placed the systems and it basically covers this whole area. They can protect any area within this range. And here is where there are many islands that China claims as theirs, the Philippines claims as theirs, and Vietnam as well. Everyone claims it's theirs, so the United States could attack any of them. These areas, now that they're going to be stationed in Japan, obviously North Korea is close by, Russia is close by, and China is close by, right? I mean, is that really the part that worries the Chinese? No, obviously not. And in response to this show of force, well, China, I imagine, expected this, expected a series of reactions. Now, let's move on to other matters. Let's talk about other important topics as well. VIVA? Well, so what's going on? Kamikaze drones have been attacking railway substations in the Bryansk region of Russia. This area of Russia is a key zone where many train tracks come together. That's where they've been trying to hit. Does it have an impact? Imagine suddenly you lose a good part of the train networks near the border with Ukraine and suddenly you can't move as quickly as before. And in such a cheap and efficient way. So is that the approach they're already taking? Plus about 4 more weeks in which they're basically focusing on all the Russian railway logistics to hit them so they can't transport soldiers, weapons, and so on to the border with Ukraine. It's part of what's happening right now in this war that doesn't end. And by the way, today Vladimir Putin comes out to Zelensky comes out, and Putin already did it 2 days ago. Now Zelensky comes out to invite Putin to Kiev. Because he says, obviously, and in fact, that's literally what he said. Zelensky said, I'm not going to Moscow. I'm not going to visit the capital of this terrorist. That's what Zelensky said. And now Zelensky says, well, but he can come to Kiev if he wants. I mean, now we can talk. I mean, if they're going to make a joke out of it, then I'll comment on it too, right? In the end, the serious thing was for them to meet in a neutral zone. But, well, no, Putin made the comment. Zelensky replies, saying, it's better if you come to Kyiv, right? The point is that neither one thing nor the other is going to happen. There won't be any dialogue. Trump is already a bit disheartened with that topic. He realized that, well, Putin is just using him to buy time and keep the war going and to make the United States not give so many weapons to Ukraine. They had held back until now. Now, the United States is changing its perspective. I mean, they did this to Trump several times and he's upset, right? So we might see changes, possibly. Who knows? Let's move on to the next broadcast. If you're watching this live, if not, look, go to the channel. In the broadcast area, it's there. Or also in the breaking news section. We upload all live videos and recorded reports there, since sometimes we record and upload reports. So yeah, follow us on Telegram, follow us on WhatsApp. You'll also get notifications there for every new video we upload. Big hug, take care, see you next broadcast.